Welcome to the Superpowers for Good show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and I am excited today. We've got a great group of three young people, including Amanda Aviles, Gavin Poore, and Amogh Baranwal. And Amogh and Gavin are high school students. It's going to be a fun conversation. Amanda serves on the advisory board and is really helping to lead Joshua's Heart, an organization that is led by Joshua. And Joshua started the enterprise back in, what was it, 2005, when he was like 4 years old.
hmm
And this organization, started by a tiny child, is still going today, going strong. Amanda, why don't you take a minute and give us a bit of an overview, a history of Joshua's Heart? Could you do that?
Sure. So the Joshua's Heart Foundation was started in 2005 by my dear friend Josh. When he was a little kid, he had a passion for feeding the hungry. He saw homelessness in his community, and he wanted to do anything he could to help. His, he bugged his mom plenty until his mom kind of caved and said, "All right, like what can we do?" Gathered some friends and family. They would, make sandwiches and hand out food. And 18 years later, it's become this phenomenal organization. I started volunteering in 2012 during the backpack program, which is a program to feed kids who are on free lunch programs during the summer. So there have been so many different programs and so many, amazing opportunities that have come out of this organization through the past 20 or so years. But the foundation's primary mission is to stomp out hunger, as well as to engage and empower youth in that fight.
Well, it is amazing, inspiring work. And Amanda, we'll come back to you in a minute because I want to hear your story. But Gavin, maybe you would take a minute and tell us how you discovered and got involved with Joshua's Heart personally.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for asking. So I joined Joshua's Heart actually after meeting with Amogh and a couple of other friends that went to my school. They were part of it for a while, so I was like, you know what, I might as well try joining it too. So I joined Joshua's Heart a little over a year ago, and so far it's been amazing. I've got to work externally and do a lot of volunteering at the pantry. That's amazing in North Miami Beach. But I've also got to do a lot of internal work, helping Josh with a lot of the financial team, a lot of the logistics, marketing, even outreach, networking. It's truly been an awesome opportunity. It feels like I've had the opportunity to work professionally, but knowing that all my work that's professional is going to such a great cause, it's been amazing. But yeah, I got started because it's a youth-led organization. I heard about it from the youth, and now I'm working with a team of youth leaders. So it's been phenomenal so far.
Amog, what about you? How did you get connected to Joshua's Heart?
Yeah, so I have actually been with the foundation for almost 10 years now. My first distribution was when I was 6 years old, and it was one of our annual Thanksgiving food distributions. And ever since that moment, I truly have loved the foundation and everything that it stands for. Our mission is to truly inspire and empower youth to tackle global issues and change the work through kindness, teamwork, and determination. So, being part of the foundation since I was six, I've been able to not only see the large scale of impact that we've had, but also the growth within the community. I also serve as the junior advisory board chair and am the youth head for our outreach aspect of our foundation. So it's been amazing being part of it and seeing our vision truly come alive, effectively engaging and educating young people in our community to fight hunger and poverty on a global basis.
Yeah, that is so great to see the incredible stuff that's going on. Amanda, I want to ask you to address kind of an interesting dynamic that the organization faces today. The founders, the early participants, the youth that were leading this organization years ago are growing up, and you want to keep them involved and engaged, but you also want to preserve the youth-led nature of this organization. How are you doing that now as grown-ups?
So that's a really interesting question, one that we've actually been working very recently to address. I kind of grew up in the organization. Josh and I were part of the same class. We had a core group of friends that we were part of the original junior advisory board, and we participated in all these distributions and all these different projects. But once we graduated high school, went to college, started our careers, and kind of moved on to different areas, there wasn't a lot that we could do to contribute if we weren't still based in Miami, where the pantry is. So it's actually been a few years since I was like really heavily as involved as I was in high school. A few months ago, Josh reached out to me and he said, "Hey, listen, I have this idea. What do you think?" And we've been working on what we have lovingly nicknamed JHF 2.0. Essentially, it splits the organization into three parts. We have our core volunteers. We encourage volunteers of any age to come and do what they can. I had siblings who, or have siblings who are much younger than I am. And when they were as young as 1-2 years old, they were putting cans in bags. So we encourage anybody who has the urge to help to come and volunteer. We have our junior advisory board now, which is something that we started when I was part of the organization I want to say when I was in 8th grade, which is now basically we have teams in the junior advisory board. We have a finance team, we have an intel team, a marketing team, and all these different teams comprise the junior advisory board, and the junior advisory board oversees pantry operations. So they're running the show. And now we have my favorite part, the National Advisory Board, which is made up of alumni such as myself and such as, friends of mine that I grew up with who have now come back after they've gotten experience in college, gotten experience in their careers, who can now come back and mentor the Junior Advisory Board kids, show them how to run the show, show them what to do, how to best operate, and who can lead the organization on a national basis.
It's awesome. This is a big challenge that you're facing, and I love the approach you're using to address it. It really is, I think, a great strategy.
It's been really great. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
It's been a really great experience because one of the things that I most love about this organization is how we grow up together. We really truly develop these unbreakable bonds with each other, and we follow each other through college and our careers. And the amount of people who have jumped at the opportunity to come back and help out. Most of our program is digital now, so we have people in Tampa, we have people in Orlando, we have people in Washington D.C., in Connecticut, who are saying, like, if I can get involved, I want to do anything and everything I can. I mean, so many of our volunteers. I've been with Joshua's Heart for 11 years now. So many of our volunteers stay for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And any opportunity that they have to come back and help out and contribute more to the community, they jump at the chance. And it's really, really beautiful to be a part of.
Yeah. Amogh, I want to ask you about your experience with this. You kind of typify what Amanda was just saying about people who've been with the organization a long time. I mean, you're a kid by a lot of definitions, and you've been doing this for, by my calculation, a dozen years. That's a long time to be volunteering. Tell us about a little bit more about that first experience at your first Thanksgiving food pantry experience where you're, how was that? How did that work? How did it touch you? Tell us about the logistics and how you got involved at age 6.
Of course, I actually love telling the story. It's one of my favorites. So my family has always been in love with the idea of philanthropy and volunteering and making a positive impact in our community. So when I was 6, my older sister was in high school, and my family would come, and she would come, and my younger sister and my grandparents. We would always look for places where we could volunteer. And unfortunately, at the time, Joshua's Heart Foundation was the only organization that allowed youth of any age to come out and volunteer. So it was so cool seeing so many kids my age, younger than me, older than me, all coming together and volunteering. And which is something that is very unique about our foundation, is that we empower youth from the very beginning. Sometimes we get questions, I have a 5-year-old, like I don't have anyone to take care of them when we're volunteering. We always tell them, please bring them. It's such a beautiful sight to see a whole family volunteering, whether it be the little kids holding the bags open to put groceries in while the adults are doing much more of the heavy work. It's still really cool to see all the kids coming together to make a difference. But for me specifically, my Thanksgiving food distribution, I was 6 years old, and it was the first food distribution, or the concept of that, I had ever been to. And it was a lot happening at once, but it was also so cool. So the one memory that I have that has always stuck with me is that when I was in line, we used to have people come to us and we would shop with them, like a grocery store. So they would get to choose exactly what they would want to take home. And a family came with another 6 year old. And this was the first time I had saw someone that had looked like me, in the way of we're the same age. We might have gone to the same school, or we might have similar life experiences at that age. But when I gave his family that box of food, I saw his smile brighten up. And to me, I was shocked, something that I take for granted. I never think when's the next food going to be on the table, or when the next family dinner is going to be. It's something that just happens. So to see someone my age see so much joy from something that I took for granted really opened my eyes to the many problems that many people face that are 6 years old. So it is cool to tell people that I started volunteering when I was 6, but it's sad to know that there are 6 year olds who didn't get that same opportunity because of the circumstances they were put in. So ever since that day, I have been grateful for our foundation for giving me these opportunities and allowing me to experience giving back firsthand.
That is really remarkable. I love that story. Now, Gavin, I want to ask you to take a minute and tell us a little bit about the organization. Today is primarily run and led, I think, by the Junior Advisory Board, and you're a member of that. Tell us how the organization runs, and I think I wanted you to sort of clarify and confirm that the folks your age are really running this thing, right? Am I getting that right?
You are 100% correct. So I myself have been working within the finance team, and even as a 17-year-old, I've been working on grants, I've been working on tax statements, which sounds kind of boring and to like other teenagers, but for me it's been great because I've got this kind of sort of professionalism where I've been able to work on these professional tasks. But we have so many other teams, like kind of Amanda was talking about before. We have an intel team, a marketing team, Amogh is part of the outreach team. So many other my friends are on youth-led teams, but the great part about it is rigid, it is structured. So we have a team, everyone has a position, everyone has tasks, and we have the national advisory board, like Amanda was talking about, that helps us out and guides us and teaches us and mentors us while we're able to do our own work independently. So not only have been students given the opportunity at such a young age to learn a lot about different parts about a professional thing, like a professional organization and NGOs and things like that, but everything that they're doing is for such a great cause, like Amogh has been talking about. So it's just like there's so much motivation, there's so much joy behind it, and it's like a giant family. Like everyone is working together towards the same thing. Everything is interconnected. If I have a question, there's no shame behind it. I can go and ask somebody, get my answer, and then move on, and everyone just kind of works on the same page. It's honestly like remarkable. It's like I never expected going into it that it would be this tight-knit community that it is, but it is, and it's truly been awesome.
This is just so fun to hear, and I'm grateful for all that you're sharing. We're going to take a quick break, but today we're here with three of the young people helping to run Joshua's Heart, a large food distribution effort that's going on primarily in South Florida. But I'm here with Gavin Poore, Amogh Baranwal, and Amanda Aviles. And when we come back, we're going to talk to them about their superpowers. So stick around. You don't want to miss this. Need money for your small business or startup? Learn how to raise capital on your own terms. Renowned attorney Jenny Casson will teach you how to fund your business without selling your soul. She'll share secrets learned over decades of fundraising. November 15th at 1 Eastern. Register today for free at thesupercrowd.com. Want to learn from the world's great changemakers? Find your superpower. Subscribe to the Superpowers for Good newsletter at superpowersforgood.com. Make your strengths into superpowers that will change the world. Join the Super Crowd today. Superpowers 4good.com. Join us at Supercrowd Baltimore to connect with community-focused business leaders and investors working to support diverse founders, social entrepreneurs, and community builders. Learn how to raise money from the crowd and how to invest like a pro. November 30th at the B&O Rail Museum. Register today at thesupercrowd.com. Well, we are thrilled to be here today. We have with us Gavin Poore, Amogh Baranwal, and Amanda Aviles. This is a great discussion. These are youth leaders of Joshua's Heart, and we're going to be talking to them now a little bit about their superpowers. Amanda, you grew up with Joshua's Heart, and you've gone on to college. You now started a professional career. You're remarkably accomplished. What do you see as your superpower?
I have actually thought about this a lot because when Josh first reached out to me, he graduated from NYU Stern Business School. He brought in a few of his business school friends, and I was actually very self-conscious because I didn't really know anything about business. I didn't have a business background or anything like that. But I realized pretty quickly that my superpower is not, in necessarily the financial, logistical, the minute hard skills, but more of the soft skills, more of the way that I relate to people, the way that I can understand people, the way that, we're working with teenagers. So we'll discuss these kind of complex business terms. And, I say, great, that's all sounds good. How do we relay this to a 15-year-old? How do we, get a high school senior excited about SOPs or LOIs or anything else like that? So I really do think that that's been my main superpower is, figuring out how to connect with the kids, how to get them excited, how to get them on board, and how to give them the confidence to then instill confidence in the next generation.
Well, that is a very powerful superpower, that ability to lead. So kudos. Amogh, you've been with the organization for a long time, and we talked about, golly, maybe 12 years, 11 at least, if I'm doing the math right. And it is just such a remarkable thing. What do you think is your superpower?
Yeah, so it is often said that youth are the future, right? But I personally believe, and Joshua's Heart Foundation actually taught me this, I think youth are the present. I think my superpower lies in the fact that I am young and youth empowerment, youth leadership. So it's about recognizing the potential within each and every single one of us. And every young person has this. And it's something that people don't talk about enough or people don't mention. But the fact that youth have the power to make active change just because of the fact they are young is a huge superpower to me. So I think every single young person has all these tools, but it's just about providing them the resources, the opportunities they need to reach their fullest potential. It really is about fostering a sense of agency, self-confidence, resilience in our youth. And it's about giving them a seat at the table, whether it's a voice about decisions or something that matters about their collective future. It's really important for youth to know that they also have power. The world is not just about adults or people who seem big, but change comes from everybody. And throughout history, it has often been the youth who have driven innovation and progress. And when we are empowering young people to pursue their ideas and passions, I think that we're investing in our future as a whole community. And it's been awesome growing up in the foundation and learning that something that naturally is just born with us is something that I have the power to help others with. So whether it be problem solving or leadership development, social and political engagement, I think youth truly is something that allows me to do what I need to do. And in general, like, youth empowerment might be a buzzword, but it's a powerful force for positive change. It's, as I said, it's an investment into all of our futures, a commitment to equality and recognition of the potential within each individual young person. So at the foundation, and my personal goals is to work together to empower our youth, to support their dreams, and to build a brighter and more promising world for generations to come.
Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant, Amogh. Gavin, it's so remarkable to see the leadership role you're taking on as a 17-year-old. What is your superpower?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. I honestly am going to piggyback off of what Moog said and talk about, my superpower specifically in youth engagement, but more on soft skills and more on networking. I've truly like my whole life, I've had a love for public speaking and, talking with people, getting my voice out there. But, before Josh was hard, I kind of realized that it was just my voice. And I wanted to make sure that other people, like Moog said, get to have a seat at the table. They get to share their own voice for so much positive change. So, I think for me, when I first came into the organization, I saw how many people there are that are like me, that are super young, super ambitious, but maybe are shy, maybe are afraid. They're so used to having adults, take over and manage operations that they don't really want to come forward. So I've realized that I wanted to take charge. I wanted to use my superpower and engage students. So actually, with the organization, I helped with their first ever networking workshop. So I showed students how to use LinkedIn, how to send messages to politicians, industry professionals. It's just great because people are coming to me like, "Hey, Gavin, like, how do I talk to them? How do I start a conversation? How do I spark this?" And it's been so good because I'm seeing kids kind of like branch out, and I've seen like their inner confidence shine, and knowing that all their confidence and all their passions and the discussions and conversations that they're having are so moving and just so great, especially because they're creating so many good things and they're launching so many opportunities for the organization that adults themselves may not be able to get, and it's the youth that are launching and creating a pipeline for years to come. It's been great, and I'm really glad that I've been able to be a part of this positive force with the Moog and the other youth that are part of the board. It's been truly phenomenal, and I can't wait to see how students in the future use their voice to continue to shine, not just in Joshua's Heart but in their communities as a whole. But how Joshua's Heart impacts the community everywhere. So yeah, that's probably where my superpower, I think, lies.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, as we wrap up here, I want to ask Amanda, maybe you could take the time to do this, but maybe you could just tell people how they can learn more about Joshua's Heart and how they can support it. And I realize that may be a complicated issue, right? Of course, it's easy to give money, and a lot of people are in a position to do that. But a lot of young people are going to be interested in how to engage, really engage. So make sure you explain how to do that. And then, I want to be cautious here. You're young people, but to the extent that you want to receive contact in a safe way, tell us how that might be so we can get in touch with you. Okay. And again, I want you to be careful.
Well, absolutely.
But if there's a way to get in touch, let us know.
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, I mean, we do have all of our different social media accounts. We have our LinkedIn. We have Instagram is definitely one of our most active. Twitter, Facebook. So, any kind of social media platform that anyone uses, more than likely we're there. You can just look us up. Joshua's Heart is our handle for Twitter and for Instagram. It's funny that you say the thing about the money. It's easy to donate money. So we definitely have a donation button on our website. It's going to be joshuasheart.org. If that's something that interests you. For the most part, right now, because we are in a bit of a development period, we're mostly only accepting volunteers and junior advisory board members from the South Florida area. However, for anyone who is not in that area and is absolutely very committed, very dedicated, very excited about our mission, we refuse to turn anyone away. So as we're growing, we're still looking for anyone who might want to get involved digitally. So definitely our website, our social media platforms are the best way to keep updated and keep in touch with us.
Excellent, excellent. Now, again, wanting to be as cautious as possible. If you have personal social media accounts you want people to know about, why don't you go ahead and shout those out quickly so folks know how to get in touch with you? If you don't, that's just fine. This may not be, this isn't a dating platform. Okay.
It's funny that you mentioned that. That's definitely been a front of mind issue as we've, slowly grown and developed. But LinkedIn is definitely the best way to get in contact with any of us, any of the leadership, especially. I myself am on LinkedIn. A-Aviles is my the end of my LinkedIn link. That's definitely going to be the best way to get in contact and to message me and to message most of our leadership.
Yeah. What about you, Amogh? Are you available anywhere?
yes, if anybody has any questions or would like to reach out regarding volunteering or other stuff, please feel free to, you can DM me on Instagram at Amogh Baranwal, or please feel free to add me on LinkedIn and reach out. Same thing, just my full name, Amogh Baranwal.
Yeah, and same with me as
Okay.
well on LinkedIn. Gavin Poore. If you look it up, I'm one of the only ones on there named Gavin Poore. So I'm there. Feel free to send me a message if you have any questions about the organization, how to get involved. I'd love to have a conversation.
Fantastic. Well, we're thrilled to have had you all on the show. Thank you so much for making time. We want to wish you every success in the continued work that you're doing, not only to feed those who are hungry, but to develop leaders in the youth.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
All righty. All
Thank
righty.
you.
Let's
Thank
do
you.
some good.